What's up, guys? Today I'm here with the podcast boys, and we're bringing sexy back.
Oh my fucking god! Don't ever say that again.
When you kill the prostitute in GTA just to take your money back, you'll never get a penny out of me.
I just got ratioed.
When I walk outside, I increase the reflective capacity of the surface of the earth.
I literally I don't even touch my dick anymore. I kind of just So this Snapchat girl Snapchats me, and she says, "Hey, I love you. Come over."
I snap back, "Not thick enough. Text later."
You look like you just got done beating one.
What the fuck?
Cameron is stacked on top of Trevor, and Alex is just off to the left, all big. My thing is weird.
Walk up in the gay orgy like.
Cameron, you recorded that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 17 of the Unboxing Light podcast. I'm Trevor. I'm one of your hosts for this evening. I'm joined by my boy, Alex.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah. Cameron.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. And David.
Hey, guys.
What's up? And we make up the Unboxing Light podcast. Today, we're going to tackle the U.S. election, which is still ongoing. Give some thoughts and the proceedings that's been happening so far. We're going to tackle Justin Timberlake's 2006 classic album, Future Sex Love Sounds. And we're finally going to be reviewing Demon Slayer.
Finally, bro.
So stay tuned. We got a great episode for you guys. So, with that out of the way, let's get Alex to give us his tradition. What's your Daddy David joke of the week?
I got a joke. This one's more a bit of a story, so I'm going to need you to listen carefully and listen close.
Yes, father.
Oh my god.
All right. So, a teenage boy is getting ready to take his girlfriend to the prom. First, he goes to rent a tux, but there's a long tux line at the tux shop, and it takes forever.
I'm leaving.
Next, he has to get some flowers. So he heads over to the florist, and there's a huge flower line there, too. He waits forever, but he eventually gets the flowers. Then he heads to rent a limo, and unfortunately the same thing happens. There's a large limo line. But he's patient, and he gets the limo rental. Finally, the day of the prom comes. The two of them are dancing happily, and his girlfriend is having a great time. When the song is over, she asks him to get her some punch. So he heads over to the punch table, and there's no punch line.
Thank God.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah, baby. That's actually dope.
I was so fixated on the fact that he didn't get a tuxedo that I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
As soon as you said the tux line, I was like, damn it, I've heard this one before, and I got up out of my chair and fucking left.
Yeah.
Nah, because that's a good one. That's a Giga Dad joke for sure.
A Giga Dad.
There's no punch.
Yeah, man. I've seen that as the first time I saw that. Actually, it was like absurdly long. Like it took me like 3 minutes to read because it was like super heavily upvoted, and I was like, "What is this?" So yeah, man. Wow, that's funny. No, good one for sure.
Cam, you want to give us your Laffy Taffy fun fact of the week? I don't even think Laffy Taffy is fun facts. I think it's Snapple.
Anyway, so the fact of the week is, and we're not gonna name more brands because that'll get us in a certain place. But is that elephants are extremely good swimmers. They can swim for up to 6 hours and 25 miles. Their bodies are so buoyant that if they get too tired to continue swimming, they'll simply just float in the water using their trunk as a snorkel.
That's snorkel.
Using their trunk as a snorkel until they regain their strength. And in this same article, I also learned that apparently humans and other primates are the only mammals who have to be taught to swim. Every other like mammal species just knows how to do it once they get like big enough and strong enough to do so. Obviously, if you toss like a baby mouse in water, he's not going to swim, but adult ones can.
Interesting. That's wild. I can't swim. If I was another animal, I could. Wow.
It blows my mind to this day that you live in Florida and you can't swim. It's crazy.
That is crazy, actually.
I live on Florida. I don't live beside Florida in the ocean.
You live in Florida.
I almost feel like
you fucking idiot.
I almost feel like if somebody who doesn't know to swim is put in a position where they have to swim or die, I feel like they might be able to just do it right there. You think so?
I don't know. I understand that.
Panic,
I understand that take, but I mean, the panic sets in. The panic of the idea of like, I don't know how to swim. I don't know. I think for an adult, like obviously you learn to swim as a kid and it's difficult because you're not fucking strong and you have like 0% body fat, so you don't float. So you have to like actually work super hard at it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like David, if you jumped in, like you could figure out how to tread water like pretty fast. It's not difficult.
I've tried many times. I've almost drowned 3 times. So that, yeah.
Damn.
All
right.
We tried to make him swim. Like we tried to get him to kick. We tried to get him to kick.
Yeah.
Like a baby calf.
I remember that.
Damn, I definitely can learn to swim, which I want to do, but yeah, if I've been thrown in and I've almost died, so.
Oh yeah, fuck no. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm not talking about getting thrown in. That's fucked up. I'm saying like if you had an instructor, you could figure out how to tread water in like probably 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, David, we'll get you to swim.
All right.
You have fun with that. I'm not teaching him.
All right. Well, you can always just David, ride an elephant instead.
Give us your elephant track of the week.
Elephant track of the week.
Get it? Because it sounds like they bang when they stomp. It's a banger. You're gonna give us a banger. I'm sorry.
Dude.
I'm going to bring physical harm upon your person.
No, Ernie prepares to do a hate crime.
Oh my god!
Physical harm.
Dude, when fucking John Wick 3 came out and that meme came with it and it was like,
yeah,
oh, that guy's from Fortnite, and you see Ernie's about to commit a hate crime.
Ernie prepares to commit a hate crime. Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, the subtitled Sesame Street memes are goated. It's like
yeah.
Because they look so lifeless because they're just captured. They're not moving, so it's like they look even more menacing.
It reminds me. It's got Matt. What's that? I thought we agreed never be a creative again. What is that fucking YouTube video that has hundreds of millions of views?
From like old Don't YouTube. Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. That kind of.
I don't.
The stills like could be from that. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, all right.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with the 2018 song "What's Free" by
Ooh, shit!
Featuring Rick Ross and Jay-Z.
Certified hood classic.
Absolute certified hood classic.
You got to repeat it again because I came all over.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never once heard the artist of any song that I didn't know before you said it. Because every time you say just like,
I showed him this. I made him listen to this album, so I'm just like even more about it.
Oh, we doing this week? Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
What's Free by Meek Mill featuring Rick Ross and Jay-Z. I'll say this: the Rick Ross verse almost doesn't fit. I'm really not crazy about it at all. He's just dissing 6ix9ine, I guess.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, not at all. But once you get past that, the beat is like a remix of "What's Beef" by the Notorious B.I.G. And it's just nasty
with a trap drum set instead.
Yeah,
instead of some boom bap.
For sure. And then Jay-Z
hits you with a 50-bar verse.
One of the best verses of it
ever.
Year. Yeah, probably ever.
Ever.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't heard that song, go listen to it. It's fucking insane.
All right, track an artist again.
Okay, What's Free? Meek Mill featuring Jay-Z and Rick Ross.
Dang.
Yes, sir.
Dope.
Jay-Z's one of the goats.
Yeah, hey man, I mean, sometimes you just gotta take a verse to diss 6ix9ine. I understand that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, but when everyone does it in the industry, it's like
very original.
It's such a snore fest. It's like, just move on, man.
And the song is talking about the struggle and a lot of different stuff, and then it's like, all right.
But every time I see a hip hop DX community post on YouTube, and it's like, why are you giving this guy shine? And then you hear people literally embodying him in those verses, just goading him. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep referencing him. Like I'm gonna keep talking about him in these verses, even though I hate him. Like stop giving him attention.
Yeah, that's a thing where he's like an easy punching bag, and then he just stays in the public mindset or mind, whatever. Yeah,
awful, but good song, very good song. I like it.
Yeah,
I like that pick.
Cute.
All right,
Cool, very cool.
So I have a very very quick quote from one Demon Slayer.
Dope.
It's pretty. It's a cool show. It's not that bad. But the quote goes, "If you can do one thing, hone it to perfection, hone it to the utmost limit." And this is when Zenitsu's instructor is like trying to get him to learn, and he climbs up the tree, and he's like, "I don't want to persevere anymore. I don't want to train." And then he gets fucking struck by the lightning.
It's a really good impression.
Dude, that guy is so fucking annoying. But
we'll get to it.
Yeah,
we'll get to it.
But, yeah, and then he gets blessed with the thunder breathing technique when he gets slizzapped by that lightning strike.
Smizacked.
So yeah.
There you go. Nice.
But I like that quote.
That's a good philosophy, yeah. Like the 10,000 hours and the putting in that work.
You must master this one thing. Yeah, I think it was Bruce Lee has a quote that's like, "I fear not the man who has practiced 1,000 different kicks, but the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I even like this quote even more just because I was working a couple days ago and I was doing a task that was new to me, and my buddy that I work with, he said, "You're going to become the SME of this file." And I was like, "What's a SME?" And he's like, "Subject matter expert, SME." And I was like, "Oh, I've never heard that." So fits. That's pretty good.
I thought Mr. Smee, like Peter Pan.
Mr. Smee.
Smee.
I've never seen that movie, but I went on the ride for the first time, like when we went to Magic Kingdom last weekend.
Dang.
I like that ride. I can actually handle it.
It's
It's old. It's old.
It's super old, and it's very quick, and it doesn't justify the wait time that you wait for it. But
For sure,
it's a cool
that ride stays at a high weight for
Dude.
like no reason.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dang.
Anyways, all right.
Cool.
I
Watch
guess
the
we
movie.
have to talk about the election.
So
Yeah, there's things going on in America right now.
don't know if you guys have heard, we had an election on Tuesday.
We had an old man fight.
In case you missed it,
Votes are still being tallied up as of right now. This is literally like the hottest story I think we've ever covered in terms of like it being changed within the next 2 days. So
Yeah, we're recording on Friday, November 6th. Just
literally just now, like over the course of last night and then this morning, Biden is at like 264 confirmed, I believe. He needs 6 more for the 270 needed. Pennsylvania.
He's 264 confirmed with AP, not with everyone else. I think they're still waiting on Arizona.
It's states they've called. That doesn't include Arizona.
Yeah, the 264 does include Arizona.
Does it? All right. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, Nevada's being slow as fuck. There's loads of Nevada memes. For some reason, they're only at like 85%.
Take your time, Rocky.
And it's a close ass one, but Biden should win that one, I think. Georgia just flipped blue as they were counting the mail-ins, which the mail-ins have been like 4-1. Biden versus Trump.
He actually pulled ahead, like even further in Nevada. I think he was like 12,000 ahead last night or something like that, and now he's like
by a fair amount. Let me pull up the literal numbers.
Right now. They are quite literally tied in Georgia with 99% reporting at 49.4% apiece. There's still a 0.2% left to be calculated.
Yeah, he's got a 1.5K lead in
Biden's
Georgia.
ahead by like 1.5K. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pennsylvania is the same thing, but he was down, I think, like 100,000 votes or something like that in Pennsylvania.
He was down like 600K before they started calculating.
And now Biden is up 13K and 13,000 votes in Pennsylvania. And those have been overwhelmingly Biden votes that they've been counting for the mail-ins. because the way this is working, if you haven't heard this explained a million times, what you probably have is that they're not allowed to start counting, even though they receive the mail-ins well before election day. They're not allowed to start counting them until the day of, which means they literally have a pile of several million ballots that they have to just like start going through day of. So obviously this was always going to take the week. It's the most
ridiculous rule ever.
The system is it's very far from perfect. It's actually kind of bad, but it's
because Pennsylvania said that they were just going to delay it, right? They we're counting all the mail-in ballots tomorrow, like on the election day. They're like all the mail-in ballots are just getting counted tomorrow. Like
no, they didn't say that. It's law.
Yeah, it's the law in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
It's law in a lot of these states that they're not allowed to start tallying
day
anything.
After.
Day of or day after.
They have to wait until the election happens.
I think the one I heard was like day of or like midday on election day. So like I think, I don't know, maybe the law says they can start counting at fucking like 12:01 a.m. on November 3rd, but obviously no one's doing that. They're not going to hire those people. So
he's almost up by 4 million votes in the popular vote.
Yeah.
He's gotten the most votes in history, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. He beat Obama's record from 2008.
Correct. Yeah. The Electoral College needs to go. It is trash. It is not representative of it. And it's basically like large-scale gerrymandering, which also needs to go. Gerrymandering is also fucked if you know anything about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucked up ways that like not the winner can win because of the way the system is set up. So we need to revamp it for sure.
And an entire election relies on a 6-vote state. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but you know what's going to finish with like 300. But
you know, something I think that's interesting. I mean, because obviously has a 4 million lead in the popular vote, and it's crazy because that 4 million lead, that difference, like if you look at California, it's literally all of California makes up that difference because it's like 8 million to 4 million just in California.
Yeah, so I saw r/data is beautiful.
In New York.
And they did a calculation that the population of the county that Los Angeles is in is just greater than the populations added up of the least populated 1,200 U.S. counties.
Wow.
Interesting.
Crazy. I always forget about how the population differs in different states until the election. It's so different.
And if you look at just like individual states, it's like every state or every county that isn't a major metropolitan area is voting red, and then everyone else is voting blue. It's crazy.
Yeah,
all of Miami, Jesus, all of Michigan was fucking red. Like it's an entire red mitten, and then you look at Detroit and Flint, and it's blue.
Yeah. It was like Nevada was only Reno and
Las Vegas.
Yeah,
it's the same everywhere. It's the same. Dallas,
same
Dallas,
with Georgia.
Austin.
Georgia's the same too.
Like in Texas, Dallas and Austin are all blue, and then in San Antonio are all blue, and then the rest of Texas is like all of rural Texas is red. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. You look at any blue state, it's going to be like that. Well, except for like Massachusetts, and Vermont.
There's a few, yeah.
But anyway, so that's the election. We said we wouldn't say it out loud, not to jinx it, I guess, because we have some sort of power over that. But
I believe in not speaking shit out until it happens because you literally quite never know.
Yeah.
So there's no point in doing it. We can just wait another day. Don't say it. Just don't jinx it.
Yep, that's fine. So it's looking the way it's looking. I like the way it's looking a lot. I don't know how Alex feels about it. The resident Trump side of the aisle. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's obviously there's a huge reaction to it from all those people. I don't get down with like crazy outlandish reactions like what people are seeing. I mean, it is what it is.
How do you feel about him saying stop the count?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'm not down. I mean, I'm not down with it. I mean, it's obvious that they're gonna have a lot of mail-in votes that need to be counted, and that's just what it is. You just have to take that. You just have to roll with those punches. So
Agreed.
Yeah, there's a video of like a bunch of Trump supporters outside a polling place, and they're all chanting "Stop the count! Stop the count!"
It was funny too because there was a one in a different city where they were saying count the votes or whatever.
Yeah. Count every vote. Yeah. But that video that I'm talking about was captioned. All right, so now we have the Trump supporters here protesting checks notes democracy.
Yeah,
I guess.
I just think I also think there's like it's obviously a whole different election than what we're seeing based off like COVID and the way it is, but like this is like crazy time where like all the votes like we don't know on election day,
yeah, which
everybody's
really sucks because I'm sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired of waking up and looking at my phone and being like, okay, 2% progress through 8 hours last night. Like, what are y'all doing?
I just want to say, like I was looking at Associated Press. I was looking at a couple of different things, right? But like, how did they determine what states? Like, how did they call the states? Because
they
it's trending.
From my understanding, I think it's like they have historically voted for different candidates and like.
Yeah,
or counties that still need to be like counted for, like the major metropolitan areas, like those in Pennsylvania that were still needing to be counted. Like that's why he thought that he was going to win that state. But like shit like Arizona and stuff like that. That's like how they do it.
I get that, but like, because I remember seeing like Washington. Like Washington is a historically blue state, but they had 3% of the votes counted, and they're like, "Yep, he's got it." They called Washington. I'm like, "What? 3%?"
And normally they're not wrong.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But I'm just like, even if kind of like that the state is going to be blue, 3% is still like.
No,
you at least might want to wait a little bit.
If you have, it is a lot of having to do. I agree with you that seems ridiculous, and it's like, okay, I don't get it. Like, it definitely seems too early to be sure about it, but they're sure about it only based off of like a load of metrics that they've already been doing. So when they see what they expect, they just say, we're calling it. But yeah, 3% definitely seems ridiculously fucking low for that. I've seen it at like 15 or 20%. But those are states, like Massachusetts, Vermont, like.
You know what? I think it was actually. I think I took a screenshot. I think it was 1%.
I don't know.
I just give it to my.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, they just. I guess it's jumping the gun.
It's one thing to like predict that it's gonna be, and then like just like call it like yes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But it's not a big deal because we already know
it'll change anyway. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
Like if it does change, it's them calling it is not going to dictate the results of the election. They could be wrong. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Always try to look at the actual vote count and not just whether or not
the
they,
percentage
quote unquote, have it.
How many are counted.
Yeah, but even the percentages can be misleading.
Yeah. There's a lot of, they just like throw a bunch of fucking numbers out there and like see what sticks sometimes in terms of like the stats they give and the percentages and all that.
They also want clicks.
I mean, it's not that they mean nothing at all. It's just that they're not necessarily like relevant data points or something like that, and they're just like throwing it out so that they're like covering everything or whatever. But
they also want clicks. So if they show like, "Ayo, we have results. We know that it's going to happen." People are going to pay attention to that website.
That's actually probably like the actual reason that they call it that early. People want clicks.
People want traffic.
Yeah, is to say, we have the most updated results. We know what's called. We know, So that's probably the most.
I'm sure the Associated Press. I don't know like what that organization is, like what it stands for or anything, but I'm sure they paid a pretty fucking penny to be front page on Google.
Yeah, and I guess it's funny too because you see the other side where now some states could pretty easily be called, and I think it has to do with like reputable, like the really big news sources. Like you can't just like call the overall election wrong. So when it's like this state will decide the election and you like say Biden has won and then it goes back the other way, that's like real bad for you. Yeah, you can't do that. So there's also like when it gets down to it, they wait seems like.
Mm-hmm. There's like I was saying, there's a lot of knowns, there's a lot of unknowns. A lot of shit could go down in these next few days, the next few weeks. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
I think it's going to be a very turbulent transition if and when Biden wins.
So the AP, the Associated Press, is a non-profit cooperative, which is a collection of newspapers and broadcasters and stuff. So it's basically peer-reviewed public media. So what you see from the AP is the agreed upon story of the aggregate story from several sources. So that's why the AP is like so touted as being, because it's heavily reviewed, heavily peer reviewed, all that stuff. So that's a great news source when we say educate yourself and stuff like that. They're usually pretty accurate and relevant and unbiased. So
I didn't even know that.
I know that there was a lot of different things that go into that, the whole as a collective.
Every time I see AP, I think of alternative press, which is alternative culture. Like it's like your hot topic culture, like your
nice
music, pop culture, and stuff like that. But every time I see AP, I think of that, and I'm like, is that the same name? But it's alternative, not associated. So.
Dang, I was thinking of AP classes.
I think of the pineapple pen guy.
AP classes. They'll remind me of my wasted time.
Yeah.
God.
Oh man.
Think of the pineapple dude with the pen, the PPAP guy.
PPAP.
PPAP. What?
Yeah, pen, pineapple, apple pen, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh dang.
Pineapple. Wait, what does he say? Pen.
I have a pen.
Apple pen.
Apple.
We really do.
Yeah. God.
Jesus Christ.
Then he takes both pens and puts them together. It's crazy. Pen, pineapple, apple pen.
Man, it's fucking elite. So yeah,
I don't have any more on the election.
I don't know. I have some more on the election. I don't have more on Trump and Biden, though, is what I was going to say. Yeah. I want to talk about other stuff surrounding it, specifically minimum wage increases. I don't know where else that happened, but it's happening in Florida, which is good.
I know what already is happening in New York, but that's been news. But
yeah, it's been the case in a lot of places. You know, inflation is a thing, and people need to make a living wage, so pay it to them, honestly. So yeah, there you go. I'm very happy about minimum wage increases across the board. Obviously, it's gradual, so you don't fuck up the entire economy. But
yeah,
thumbs up for that.
It's just a dangerous.
At first, I'll tell you. At first, I was like, Florida. When I heard it, it was like it's gonna be 15 an hour. I'm like, that seems kind of high but like then I realized like it's gonna be by 15 by like 2027, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna. And so I'm down for that. I think 856 I think it is right now is too low. By next year is gonna be $10.
It's literally
and then it's gonna move up.
It's literally not a living wage. So Florida is one of the better ones because rent and land ownership are less difficult down here, or less costly, less expensive. Yeah, not less difficult, less expensive, less costly. Yeah. But in a lot of places, the minimum wage just isn't even close to a living wage. Like people work 2 jobs so they can barely afford rent and put food on the table. So big fan of that.
I'm just curious to see what happens to smaller businesses as it ramps up, because that will
we're not going to really know.
They'll increase
over
prices.
Time, it will increase their expenses, which may cause layoffs, and they may even have to shut down. Yeah, it's very dangerous. Like minimum wages, it's not clear cut.
Yeah,
like obviously, we want people to be able to live on these wages, but it's very, very razor thin.
Yeah,
to me, it's very clear cut.
Especially now with like small businesses that like think the situation now, they're already kind of struggling.
Dude, Rocio works at and like he's barely scraping by like in terms of like his daily goals. So like I would hate to see him have to pay for those like menial jobs and go out of business. Like I don't know.
The thing is with COVID is like the only time something like this would really be dangerous. So it's good that they're doing it gradually, but if you look at like they're barely catching up to what it was before. Like after the Great Depression, it was passed into law that the minimum wage had to keep up with inflation so that people could actually live off it. That's like it was understood that it was a basic like need of society. Like it's just like you have to have that on the table. But then in the 1970s, people just it had gradually, like, people stopped paying attention, and then the law was changed and it was untied from inflation. Mm-hmm. So now it's like wages are historically low. Like their productivity from the average worker has gone way up, and wages have completely stagnated. And that there's actually not even evidence that it causes job loss, because people at the bottom, when they have more money, they spend it, unlike the people at the top. So it stimulates the economy a lot. So it's a no-brainer for me. But,
hard agree.
A lot of times things that seem complicated are just corporations selling you a narrative that benefits them.
I'm not even talking about corporations. I just mean like the small mom and pop businesses. Like,
no, I know, but they're selling you.
Those people have to raise their prices for the services that they provide, and they may lose customer bases because of that. It's a very slippery domino effect. It's not as simple as you think it is.
But who pays out the most minimum wage is like McDonald's, Burger King, like Apple, fucking like
Walmart, but I'm also thinking of the restaurants that still pay minimum
supermarkets, like all these places that like you're completely right. But the idea is that the influx of like inflation happens, and therefore the value of the dollar goes down, and then you keep the amount of money that people are earning the same. Like that's what David just said very perfectly, which is why I'm not even going to try to restate it. But the small businesses will raise prices a little bit, but that will more than account for the amount of cash flow in in the lower and middle class.
The thing is, like, I totally get it. Like, you're right in general. It is an actual issue that has complicated things to it. But the state we're in is so depraved where people can't live off it that going to somewhat normal at $15 an hour is a no-brainer, because like that's what I'm talking about. Like, because corporations have this huge platform and they have bought off like 90% of politicians that are in the government, they then disseminate these lies that like, oh, that'll crush the economy or whatever, and they say think of small businesses when really they've been paid like $800,000 by Walmart for the next election, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's.
We'll have to see. I'll definitely keep my eye on it.
One thing that kind of crossed my mind, for example, like just because I know, like a medical assistant in Florida, the starting pay is like $13 an hour, and they need medical assistants go to school for 2 years, associate's degree. So I don't know if there's any type of federal mandate where like, because right now $13 is obviously a wage over the minimum, but once it goes to a state where it's like minimum wage, like say a medical assistant, now they get paid 15, to them they got more money, but at the same exact time now they're making minimum wage, and they just went to school for minimum wage. So my question is there going to be stuff in place for it so they can't make minimum wage, and maybe they have to move to like $17-$18 an hour, or are they going to be kind of like, because then there would be no point. Then there'd be no point for them to go to school if they're just going to come out and make minimum wage.
I can tell you exactly what happened at UPS. Like, I worked 3 years at UPS, or I worked 4, but after the third year, I was making like $13 an hour, and it was much higher than minimum wage. But it took me 3 years to get to that. I think I started at $11, and it took me 3 years to get the $2 raise or whatever. So then people that were hired on after a certain date, out of like, it was 2018 or 2019, they got what I got after working there for 3 years. Right. There's no, and I didn't get an incentive for that. There's no, like, unless you have major tenure at that company, they will not be compensating you for your time there.
Yeah.
At major corporations, at least. They will not be.
I think that's another aspect.
That is something I'm interested in. The minimum wage thing doesn't hurt that, but I think with the minimum wage stuff, I'm definitely in favor of skilled labor, going up as well. That should be rewarded.
It absolutely
as well.
should, as skilled labor should.
It just will.
It requires much more brain power.
It just will. Like when it's exactly what David was saying in his first bit, was that it increases spending at the lowest level and like greatly increases cash flow. So when that cash flow like continues and like moves its way up or whatever, then like because of that increased spending, the businesses and companies or whatever that pay those skilled workers can then afford to pay them more. So like their earnings will go up, and then they can directly afford to pay their workers and their skilled laborers more. So yes, it will go up.
All right.
Yep.
Great. And one other amendment that I just want to briefly mention, Amendment 6, which extends veteran property tax discount, which is not obviously as impactful as minimum wage, but it still got
about
passed.
Like when they transfer property rights?
Is that the one that was like...
stuff like that, like property tax, which is like good. And I'm 90% yes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, wow.
That's good to see.
Yeah, I mean,
89.7.
Yeah.
It was an insanely simple change, and it just seemed like a no-brainer. It's like, okay, allow people to have more time.
Veterans.
I think it was like widows or widowers of veterans, right? Too.
Oh yeah, I think they're included. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it just basically. I mean, it was just a 2-year to 3-year increase. Like it's like if you have like a controversial opinion on like allowing people more time to straighten out their shit, then it's like I don't know what. So yeah, that makes sense. That was 90%. I don't know who voted no on that, but they must.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did not.
Take care of veterans and the families of veterans. For real.
For sure. The last bit I wanted to talk about is weed, marijuana.
Jersey.
Marijuana went 5 for 5 on the ballot. It was passed in every state. It was proposed in. It was recreational marijuana is now legal in Arizona, Montana, New Jersey, and South Dakota. And South Dakota actually went. Yeah, well, I'm getting there. South Dakota actually, I believe, is like one of the only states I've seen that went from it being completely illegal and not passing like medical first and then recreational. They just went straight from fully illegal to recreational, which is funny to me. And then medical passed in Mississippi. So it went 5 for 5. Every state that had it on the ballot passed it.
That's amazing news. I hope people that are incarcerated for having weed for however fucking many years they get incarcerated should be let go.
Yes,
it is
fully exonerated. Yep.
It is absolutely 100% must happen.
Yeah, the fact that marijuana possession has ever been a crime is fucking ridiculous.
I can't believe it feeds into all the bullshit we already know. We're not going to get into it, but we know exactly why weed is illegal.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was going to say is it's going to add an estimated $9 billion to the legal weed industry. So invest in legal weed if you want to make fat stacks, but that's pretty fucked up because I can say, invest and do stuff with weed when there are literally people serving 5 to 10 years or more for just for possession, not even for sale.
That's fucking bullshit.
So
fuck every judge that did that.
Imagine just like literally having 5 to 10 years just robbed from you, like literally just taken.
It's disgusting. It's fucking it's unforgivable.
I've been in college for 4.5 years now, and it seems like a very, very long period of my life. I can't imagine that being a jail sentence instead. It's fucking insane.
Bullshit.
So
full
exoneration for
anyone
everyone
that's in jail right now for that.
And then
we hope you're out soon.
The very last bit, which is very cool, is hard drug decriminalization. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No, not exactly.
So Oregon is now
heroin.
The first.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yes, Oregon is now the first state in the country to decriminalize all drugs. You can literally not get thrown in jail for possession of any drug in Oregon: meth, cocaine, heroin, anything, which is fantastic. I love it. You get an option between a $100 fine or, this is the kicker, a completed health assessment at an addiction center. And then so the way it would work is that you get ticketed, and then when you get ticketed, you then eventually have your day in court, and they mandate, okay, this is the center you're going to go to. It's an addiction center. It's meant for mental health recovery and rehabilitation. It's not a prison. It's not a penal system. This is somewhere where you're going to go and talk to people about what drove you to do insane amounts of meth and help you get off of it and like turn your life around. I love that we're doing this. I love Oregon for taking this first step. Canada's doing it very well. I believe the city of Toronto and stuff has these resources, but it's starting to treat drugs like the issue they are rather than the issue we have been treating them. We've been treating them as a criminal issue when it's really a mental health and life issue, and it's a public health issue. Drugs are a public health issue, not a criminal issue, and they need to be handled that way. So yes, thank you, Oregon.
I could say that I'm kind of curious to see how it all plays out. Obviously, it's a step in the right direction in all the right ways, like you're saying. But I'm obviously it's not on the degree of weed where like these drugs actually do stuff to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they'll fuck you up. And so I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious to see how the mentality of people shifts. Where like, if you might have people who would be like, I can do all this. Like, I could do all the. They're like them in the mindset of an addict. They could be like, I could do all these drugs, and all I have to do is go to a center after and complete that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know how if that'll be like a shift that we may or may not see.
Like you think
like I said,
they might be encouraged because
they might be like, well, there's no like what's gonna happen? I'll have to pay a fine, you know, or like people because there's a lot of people that push these drugs that don't do them, like they push them for the money, so they'll be like, you know what, if I get caught, I'll take the fine. That goes part to my profit.
I want to make clear as well. Distribution and sale are still completely illegal. So if you get caught with over a certain amount, or if you get caught selling it, so the idea behind the amount is like, if you have like a fucking brick of coke, you're not just doing that yourself. Like that's not something that you're just like gonna, you know, have a nice weekend in Vegas with. Like that's you're selling that to someone. So that's still illegal, and they will like arrest your ass for that.
All right.
Good. Yeah, you'll get brought up in.
Hopefully, you won't have to go through that.
Yeah, you'll get brought up in criminal charges for distribution and sale, but not for possession.
Man, what's free is even more relevant. I'm glad God dang, that's so beautiful that we're doing that. God, it's
excellent.
The drug thing.
What line are you talking about? Hovers?
I'm just thinking about how, like, I mean, a lot of that is about like mass incarceration and like what does freedom mean in America, and the drug war is like the thing, like one of the main things fueling mass incarceration, and like us having more
it's like the main driver,
the main driver. And us having more prisoners than any country on earth and stuff, and like, you know, the abuse of the black community and people of color, like. So
there's a war on drugs, so the police can follow me. Pac been saying that since '96, man. And we listen to that song, and it's like, oh, it's such a pop song. I love it. It's so great. And like, no one listens to what he's saying. He speaks so much truth in that fucking song. It's crazy.
Bro, to your point, it was crazy. I saw a video of these, these British dudes reacting to it.
That song.
It was Changes, and they were saying like, when they heard it on the radio, like the messaging stuff was censored out. It wasn't even the cuss words. Like they took that stuff out.
Oh my god!
And they were like angry, and it's like, yeah, dude, that's frick.
There's war in the streets, and there's war in the Middle East. Instead of war on poverty, they got a war on drugs, so the police can follow me.
Yep.
And I never did a crime I ain't have to do, dude. Just go back and listen to that song if you need any knowledge on what the fuck is happening, because it hasn't changed.
I see no change.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hopefully, we are starting to see changes. So,
rest
in peace, Bach.
Well, we'll see. There's a lot of I mean, that's a step in the right direction. I mean, obviously, that's just a small part.
I think it'll snowball.
It's got to snowball for us to really see an impact like that. It needs to,
I definitely hope it snowballs. There's a lot of countries, or there's some countries who have done this and decriminalized and like started treating people like, you have an issue, you're not like some scumbag for getting addicted to drugs. Like, let's help you out of this. And it universally just benefits everybody. And if you want to just look at it this way, it benefits the economy and all that technical stuff. So, but I think it's just the right thing to do. And like Trevor was saying, with releasing people who've been in prison for this stuff, like I think we have a moral imperative to do that. And Killer Mike was talking about on social media, like this would never happen, I don't think, unfortunately. But if there was some sort of, I guess it could be a private program of like getting the people who are locked up for owning weed, like maybe giving them some stake in certain like legal weed businesses to give them some help after.
That'd be crazy.
Like, having their lives destroyed for something that's now legal. Like I thought that was a great idea.
That'd be cool. They would have to do it very marginally. But
it would definitely probably be like independent groups trying to help them out or something. It wouldn't be like, I'm sure it wouldn't be a government thing, but
anyways, that's great news.
Super crazy, man.
Awesome. The last thing there too is that magic mushrooms, psilocybin, psychedelics are completely legal now, actually, recreationally. So you can just
everywhere.
There's going to be magic mushroom stores in Portland.
Oh, in Portland.
In Oregon.
In just Oregon.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
that's wild.
Which is cool because
Portland needs that.
I actually just
Portland already got that shit.
I actually just saw a study today that psilocybin treatment, like microdosing psilocybin treatment, has been in like huge study that just came out, is 4 times more effective than antidepressants in people with major depressive disorder.
Like so, micro treatments. Do they have any of the what's the right word? Any of the like the God dang it, the hallucinations or any of that kind of effect from that?
So you're not, as I understand it, I could be wrong, but they're never taking so much as to like trip balls. Like they're not having a trip. They're just they might get, I don't think you can take some of it and not get any hallucinogenic effects at all. Okay. So they probably have a small amount. Yes. All right. But yeah, they started the study on like terminal cancer patients to like ease end of life anxiety, and then when they had success there, they moved into people with major depressive disorder, and this was a huge study, and they had a lot of success. So that's really, really cool in the future of mental health treatment, turning psychedelics into medicine, which is incredible.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm all for discovering new, better medicine. Yeah, man.
Yep. It's great, and now I'm done. Hands off. All right, see you later. Adios.
Yeah. You want to get
talk
into
about
that?
Something fun?
Fucking Christ.
Speaking of drugs,
we're gonna talk about future drugs love sounds.
Hey.
Heck yeah!
I am
brother.
so hyped to talk about this fucking album, dude.
Yeah, no.
Dude, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
None of us had listened to it fully previous to, I mean, obviously you can't have not heard some of the songs on there.
Yeah.
But none of us had ever done a full listen through of the album, correct?
Nope.
I believe
It's been on my list, dude. It's been on my list forever. Like,
and I'm glad you freaking brought it to our list because let's get it, my boy.
I definitely came through.
I'm hyped. Yeah, please pop off. They've been hearing my voice for more than long enough, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I fucking dig this album. I think that's a given. I wanted, and the funny part is, I'm gonna give some hot takes. Sexy Back is a skip for me. Not gonna lie.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
I can feel you.
That
on
makes
that.
sense. I understand.
I know. I'm not hating on you for that, actually.
For sure. Like, I mean, it did what it did, and it's a dope song for what he wanted to do with it. But I don't enjoy it. He doesn't sound like himself, and it's so weird. When you hear the verses.
I like it, but it's not one of my favorites. So yeah, I get it.
The first track is a skip for me as well. Future Sex Love Sound. I don't like that song at all.
Oh, that's a little. Come on.
Yeah,
it's a vibe. It's not a banger, but it's a vibe. I like it.
Yeah, I didn't like
simple. It's a simple beat, but it's clean.
Super groovy.
Sure.
I thought it was a great groovy little intro.
It is groovy. Yeah.
It is groovy. Yes.
Sex,
love sounds.
Yeah,
man.
I don't like that track, but after and I was depressed because I was like, yo, after Sexy Back, I'm like, is this whole album gonna be like that? And then Sexy Ladies comes on, and I'm like, psych, we lit. Like,
that's a groove.
Yeah, no, that was a big bop.
No, that is funky, bro.
I mean, it's
I have a lot of shit to say on this album, so y'all go ahead, because I would like to just bounce off y'all. Yeah, I have a lot of shit to say on it.
David, you go first, so we have a break from my voice, and then I have one little like tidbit I want to share, and then Alex.
I feel like I see now why hip hop is super like accepting and like cool with JT almost. Like it was cool like to see the rappers on here and just like, and it reminded me of God by Kendrick. It's like, why didn't he work at JT? I can't think of that. Like,
I don't even remember that line on there.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, he keeps talking about JT on that, and I was like, what the heck?
I gotta go back and listen to that song.
That's funny.
Yeah, JT's for the culture.
I don't even like the rap verses on here. The only one I like is Juicy J's. T.I.'s is so forgettable.
It's
What? Go ahead. What?
Well, yeah, they're I don't mind them, except maybe Timberland's was like a little.
Timberland's is cringe. Yeah. My name is Tim, aka Thomas Crown.
It's kind of funny.
How often does he rap? I don't even know.
It's funny that you say that because he produced like 10 of these tracks, and he does like ad libs on every one of them. So,
which was dope. He's a great
super
producer.
involved.
He's a legend.
Facts.
I liked hearing Will I Am, but like
I hate Will I Am's verse on there. Give me some of your feminine gelatin. Like, get that fucking 80s rap shit out of here.
I liked hearing him, but like that verse wasn't his best.
I thought his voice fit the beat. I kind of liked it more than I thought I would, but he's saying nothing good.
But Juicy J kills his. I love him on Chop Me Up.
I was waiting for him to go into the classic Juicy J flow, like the I can't even do it. I'm a freaking loser. But
are you talking about like the slob on my knob shit, or
no? I'm trying to think of like the
my knob.
But all right, never mind. Just ignore me. Everyone listening, ignore me right now.
When you type da 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 into Google trying to find a song,
it's not gonna come across.
It pops up, gives you nothing. It just gives.
Oh my god, it's not gonna come across well. But Juicy J has a really fun flow, I think, and I felt like it could have been a little more fun on there, but I enjoyed that track with him.
Homeboy that comes on before him with 3 6 Mafia is yucky. That was yucky for sure.
I was waiting for Gangsta Boo because she was in 3 6 Mafia.
Was she really?
I was gonna be like, and she would be the tie between this and Run the Jewels 4. Would have been incredible. But...
yeah, no, that would have been dope. That would have been super dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was. That guy was rough. I don't know.
Yeah. The rap verses were not it for me, but everything else.
Rap. But that's not the point of the album.
Yeah, for sure.
The point of the album for me was every time which was most of the time that I'm just like walking around listening to this doing stuff, and I just like stop to like sway side to side and like bob my head and, like,
man,
dance
you gotta get that white boy two-step.
Bro, like, I love it. Yeah, the white boy two-step, exactly. That's exactly what I do in my freaking kitchen. Yeah,
hit him with the Kevin Smith from Hitched or whatever. Whatever he's doing.
Oh, fucking yes. From Hitch,
dude.
The
Will Smith movie. I think Hitch came out like the year before this album came out.
Yeah,
so it was probably inspired. Yeah. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hitch came out in 2005.
That's funny.
That's
I'm pretty sure JT was going for like a club type of vibe because you got some of these songs on here that run like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah. So I think the average track length is like 6 minutes or something like that. Like 5.
At least it's like 5.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So like every song is basically 2 songs. It's like not everyone, but a lot of them are double titled with the slashes.
Yeah.
Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst.
It took me a while to get used to that, and I was like, why does every song have to be an interlude and a prelude and an interlude?
Yeah.
But like when you listen to it and it's sequenced so fucking perfect.
Yeah, it just flows.
Like everything just, dude, it flows like water, bro.
Yeah,
that is true. I was worried because I know Trevor and I have had this conversation about like if the song is long, then it can be rough for you. Like you don't want to waste your time on it. But like,
true.
I was like, nah, this is just too like they change it up so much and it's so fun and like
It reminded me a lot of Drake, like early Drake, especially on Take Care. He does that on a song called Cameras, and he does like a song for 4 minutes and then he cuts it off, and it's a completely different vibe for another 3 minutes. And this is like it birthed it. It was so cool to like just have 2 different songs in there.
Yeah, no, it was dope. It made me realize that it was kind of funny that, you know, we talked about, I mean, we can get into the, you know, the bangers, it was insane that the thought that went through my head was, it's crazy that he had like 4 like songs of the summer. Like this is like the one that you would remember from that summer or whatever, on the same album. So
I think the 4 songs, like, okay, so we know Sexy Back, we knew My Love, What Goes Around, and Summer Love.
And Summer Love. Yeah, those are the 4 I'm talking about.
Those, I believe they all won a Grammy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did they?
Every one of those songs won a Grammy.
That's fucking nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. I don't think I had heard My Love. Maybe like the first bit a little bit.
My Love is a dope song.
I recognized the hook instantly. Like, I was like, damn, I know this. Alex, how'd you feel about it?
My Love, particularly?
No, just like this album in general. Like,
I mean, pretty much. I mean, shoot. Well, we were speaking about My Love. That probably, I don't know. Obviously, it's one I've heard. It might be one of my biggest standouts for me on this album. Just because I love the groove.
Juicy. Yeah,
it really is. I know we were saying Chop Me Up, but I think that one's another standout for me as well.
Crazy. That beat is nuts.
I'm throwing up.
That piano.
Yeah. It's just like the beat is like the beat is just like It's like it gets you feeling a certain way.
Yeah, and JT rides it on his hook. It's my god, man.
He rides it.
He does. He is a smooth fellow, and he is.
You're that smooth fellow riding it. You cannot lose.
And I think Trevor brought this up when we were talking about the album, but he is so young.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I texted you guys
when he put it out.
I realized that he's 25 when this came out. I'm like, bruh, he was in NSYNC when he was like 14, 15.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's fucking insane.
And they're talking about fucking chicks, and I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
Where are your parents?
Yeah, like, oh my god,
that's
this man has been getting down since like '96.
Yeah, bro, he's for the culture.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a certified hood classic walking.
God damn it. Yeah, bro.
He is definitely. I was just listening to this album thinking about like how many times have this man had sex in his life?
I know, literally, like
what's going on, man?
Oh my god, that's so. Every time I listen to the album, I thought about it at least once.
Got to bring out the calculator.
Like, man, how many times has this dude had to unbutton a shirt?
0. They do it for him.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna tear it off you.
I'm gonna go out and say it. What Goes Around is one of the best songs ever recorded in human history.
I was going to preface this. I was gonna say
no cap.
Trevor is the biggest karma guy I know outside of like actual Buddhists.
It literally goes full circle for me. That's funny. Wow. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Did I just cross religions? I think I just crossed religions. Oh well. But anyway, I said outside of actual Buddhists, but that karma's a Hindu thing, isn't it?
I think it is, but there might be
look
some
it up
cross.
before I lose us viewers.
Yeah, that's not.
I believe it's Buddhism.
Might be both.
Maybe exists in both, but different concepts.
It might. Yeah. I think it should be a universal principle. But...
Honestly,
I was thinking. Yeah, up arrow. I was thinking of like
in Hinduism, Buddhism, in Jainism, it's both. So it is both. So we're good. We're cool.
What were you saying, David?
I was thinking of that too. Like Cameron thought of you, I guess. Like like the goes around comes back around. Like Trevor is just because you already said the thing about that beat is otherworldly. So I'm like,
otherworldly.
And Trevor nuts. Like
yeah. I mean,
dude,
but I mean,
God, it literally bleeds classic. Like once he gets into the melodies of like the bridge and like don't want to think about it, don't want to talk about it. Dude, it's literally legendary. Like that's what I think of.
Yeah. No, I was going crazy too. I haven't listened to it as much as I want to. Make no mistake, I'm going to listen to it a bunch more. But like it's been like not even 2 full listens, unfortunately. But like. But the second time was like when I was cleaning stuff up today, and like I was just singing that like crazy.
Yeah,
I was
it's dope.
And
it gives you the fucking don't want to think about it. Like he gives the ad lib in the back. It's fucking hilarious.
Man.
If only we could all sing like him. Oh well.
Yeah, I reverted from singing with him just because I was murdering it. So.
Yeah, basically. Speaking of singing with Justin Timberlake, little story I wanted to tell was that this came out in 2006, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was
September,
I was an innocent little 8-year-old boy still attending my Catholic grade school. And I knew every word to Sexy Back and would sing along every time it came on in the car with my parents in the car. And they like
Take him to the bridge.
Like I knew, but I didn't know. I was like, "Ooh, this is naughty sex stuff." But whatever. But like, what do I know about any of that at age 8? Mm-hmm. So my parent, I literally wonder if my parents like were literally just not paying attention at all somehow, or if they were just laughing their asses off in the front seat, which is probably the latter.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
But yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
yeah. Man. I wanted to talk about the second half of What Goes Around before we like move on to another track because that beat switch is so Aubrey to me. Like that's such a Drake like fucking switch, and it like the way like it leads into like a synth, and then the drums kick in. He's like, and he starts singing or whatever, and there's no hi-hats, and then like a measure in you get the hi-hats, and I'm just like bruh like I don't know what it is about that production, but god damn,
that's amazing.
He was going hard. The lyrics, like he was just like
that was when he broke up with Britney Spears and shit.
Oh wow.
That's
the whole thing about.
I was like this is a song that was like shortened to be on the radio.
Yep.
So I never heard like the second half of it, basically, where he talks about like the thing I wrote down was I was surprised, but then not surprised that the song is supposed to directly be about cheaters getting cheated on.
Right.
So which was kind of crazy to me, but yeah, no.
It hit hard because the first half is like more sad and in that and then it's just like now your new man cheated on you. I guess what goes around comes back around. I'm like,
and you get Tim in the background like what goes around comes back around.
Dude, fucking Christ.
Like, oh my god.
Good
Amazing.
stuff.
So good.
Good stuff.
I think if anyone has others, throw them in. But another one of my favorites, I think, is Love Stoned. I think she knows.
I was about to throw that in.
Love Stone's good.
I like it. That's one of the ones.
The flashing lights hook.
Yeah, that's
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So dope.
Yeah,
how does it go? Can one of y'all remind me?
I'm gonna play it silently on mine. Hold on.
Those flashing lights come from everywhere. That's what it is. Yeah.
Ooh,
the way I look, I had to stop and stare. I heard this shit like 6 times. So
yeah, that's
I ran through it a lot.
Yeah.
One of my favorite melodies on there. The backing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's she's bad and she knows. I think that she knows. Yeah, that's good.
For
real, I think my top 3 are probably the What Goes Around Comes Around, obviously, and then
Summer Love is another banger and a half.
Yeah,
big banger.
My Love would probably be number 2, and then Summer Love is 3 for me, I think, because it's I love Summer Love is a great fucking song. It's the violins on there that just like absolutely sing the entire time.
Yep,
nuts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of beautiful instrumentation on here.
I really liked the ending stuff too. It gets way more subdued, I guess, and slowed down.
Yeah,
and
right after Summer Love, and it goes to set the mood. It's like super slow after that.
Yeah, and I enjoyed. I mean, a couple of those ending ones might be like one of those might be one of my favorites. Is like Losing My Way was really some deep lyrics about. I guess maybe playing this character, this guy who like messed up his life and then unfortunately got addicted to crack and stuff, and then like
my name is Bob and I'm working my job. I make $40-something a day. The only thing I don't like about that track is the ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. I don't feel like it goes well with it at all. I think if they cut that and just kept the instrumentation that was backing him, I think it would have been even better. But that's just a nitpick for me.
You're probably right. Yeah. And
I like that track though. And then the fucking chorus comes in at the end.
Yeah, that was was that one? Yeah.
Yeah,
that was great. I love that. So
and then
another song is produced by Rick Rubin, so he can actually do some good.
Oh, which song?
Yeah,
it's the last one. Another song.
Again.
I got
which
no
is funny
idea
because it's like the slowest song he's probably ever produced.
That's hilarious. Yeah, there's no freaking giant freaking Beastie Boys freaking dropping a pot on your head, freaking drums. Rick Rubin's dope. I mean,
he definitely has his moments, but not with Eminem.
Not after LP2.
Not after LP2. Yeah, no, you're right.
You're right. I mean, oh my god, the fact that he made another song and then he made Remind Me from Revival.
Remind Me. Oh yeah. No, we don't do those.
That is tough, man.
We definitely don't do those.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that it's a classic? It deserves its title?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
No, I mean, you said
4
songs won Grammys off of it.
Yeah.
So
not too many songs come around to do that.
Not too many albums now.
Especially on the same album. Yeah, on the same album.
Yeah. Until Dua Lipa this year, but you know.
So, I knew I liked JT.
Yeah, for sure. I knew I would too, but it's like it blows my mind that he's only got 5 albums since he like went solo in 2002. He took 4. He took like a 2-year hiatus after his first album, and then recorded this, and then he didn't come back for 7 years, and then came back with Suit and Tie and fucking Mirrors on 2020 Experience.
Was his acting career in that 7 years?
Yeah, I think he was. The only movie that I remember him being in was In Time.
Yeah, me too. But I assume he was in some more stuff, but I don't actually even know.
Yeah. In Time came out in 2011.
I like that. I like that movie.
This was it was. I think Alex, you said like they put in work in it, like for real, like the just the different instruments and like there's that electronic sound through a lot of it, but just they switch it up so much and do all these crazy things with it. It's a great listen.
Yeah, I was afraid that it was gonna be a little dated, like just by the title of it, because it came out at like a really weird period of transitioning music. So like,
I can see that.
I was worried, but it came through like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you could almost argue that is the rap verse two are the most dated. Maybe they're really like 2000s pop rap sound.
Yeah, for sure. Like T.I. doesn't say anything of substance at all.
They like me the candle man because I'm on fire.
Yeah. I would hate to cancel my vacation or something like that. I don't know what he says, but
yeah,
I would hate to cancel my vacation, but yeah, we don't do those T.I. verses.
That's tough. Yeah, I think "Damn Girl" was my least favorite.
Really? It grew on me. I don't like the hook, but I love the vibe of the verses.
It might grow on me.
Don't need no Maybelline, cause you were a beauty queen.
There was not a song that I listened to and I'm like, I don't like this.
Definitely didn't like the intro. I listened to it like I listened to the album 5.5 times, and like after the 4th listen, I skipped it. I was like, I'm not doing
Man, that's surprising.
I can kind of see
I listened to it enough to know it, and then I was like, I'm good.
I can see that in terms of you wanting to get to the meat, you know?
Yeah, the big meat.
Yeah.
The sexy ladies.
The meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
I got sexy ladies. Ah! Dude, that shit is a big banger. And this shit fucking slaps in the car, my G. Oh my god.
Sure
I don't know if y'all heard it in the whip or not, but god damn. I had to turn that shit
some
down.
of it in the whip.
Yeah.
Some of it
slaps in my headphones, dude. Like these, I was just like, god dang.
Yeah.
That bass on "Sexy Ladies" is so heavy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Trevor and I are both huge like music while driving people. Like the idea that it like enhances the experience both of listening to music and of driving.
Yeah. For sure.
So, but
For
like
we can all get with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we can all give it that, yeah.
I hear you.
But I mean,
you know, music was driving.
Yeah, no, it's music literally made for driving.
Music is driving. It just reminded me of something that happened to me. I think yesterday I was out driving. I didn't have this album on. I had like a Spanish album on, but like when you're driving and you're like sometimes you get caught up in your thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking like real deep. I forget what I was thinking about. I was going down I-4. And then I'm just sitting here like literally zoned out thinking. And then I realized I'm taking off on down I-4. I'm like about to push 100.
Yeah.
I was about to push 100. I was like, and then like it was pretty open. There was like almost nobody. So I mean, it wasn't as crazy, but I was coming up on. There was a cop just cruising, and I'm like, I'm in my thoughts thinking, just zooming, and I'm like.
And you roll down your window and you're like, fuck 12.
No. Like, I seen the cop. I seen him way before like I knew what I was doing. But I at the same time, I didn't because I was too deep in thought. And then as soon as I'm about to just zoom past this cop, I realized, holy shit, I'm about to zoom past this cop. So I just instantly, like, I didn't slam on the brake, but I, like, let off the gas.
You gave it a little love
tap. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I was like, I totally almost just zoomed past this.
I will say, funny. I definitely have zoned out while driving, but I've never accidentally almost gone 100 miles an hour while zoning out.
I don't think I've ever hit 100 miles an hour.
I have.
I've always wanted to try, but
yeah,
it has on purpose. It's fun.
But don't be careful. Drive
responsibly.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to piggyback off what you just said because, like, anytime I listen to my music in the car and I throw it on shuffle, sometimes metal will come on, and I'll like. If I'm zoned out and I'm just like really vibing the track, it'll like I will naturally accelerate just because it's got my blood pressure like higher and I'm just like more energetic.
Yeah.
And like it's just like the aggression and the tempo of different songs can dictate how fast you drive. It's really weird. Like if you're just on autopilot, not if you're like actually thinking about how fast you are. But...
Yeah.
No, I know totally exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then I try to like wake myself up and regain control. Okay.
It's so easy to go on autopilot, especially if you know like the route.
Oh yeah, especially if you know the route. Like if you're driving the same like
It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, highway hypnosis is a thing too, which you got to be careful of being like you're looking at basically the same exact scenery, but it could change at any second. So it's like
that's why I kind of try to play a game with myself, pause, where I where I just look at every billboard possible, just so I can
keep your eyes moving around. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's also the phenomenon of you come off the highway into a residential neighborhood or something, and so you go from going 65 to 30, and you're still going 30 miles an hour, but you feel like you're going slow as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Seriously,
that can be dangerous. I've seen people come off the highway and stay going 60, through these areas. So
nutty.
Be careful
definitely.
Out there. Especially if you live in Florida, because Jesus, it's crazy down here.
Dude, Florida drivers,
terrible drivers everywhere, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude.
I think Florida I've seen people use their not use their blinker more than I've seen people use their blinker.
Yeah, no, they're allergic to that shit. They're allergic to that.
Yeah,
it's got COVID on it. That little blinker button.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro.
Or
shit's nuts.
Or how many times have you seen someone with a blinker on and it's just on,
and then don't use it? Yeah,
I've seen that a few times.
They ride it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
such an easy way to cause a crash. Yeah, that almost happened to me. There was this dude I was driving out of Chipotle, as I do weekly, and
as he parts his hair, as I do. Yes. I get that basic white bitch bowl.
You know it, bro. That is me.
David gets the spiciest salsa.
Facts.
I get
their red sauce is crazy.
I need to get that. I just stick to the tomatoes because they're so fresh.
Yes,
but
agree. Anyway,
but. Yeah, this dude is slowing down to 15 miles an hour, and he's right where you would turn into Chipotle. He has his blinker on going into there. So I pull out, and he gets within a freaking meter of me, my guy. I started going into the metric system because he was so freaking close. I said, God dang. It was so close to an accident. I started swerving. It's it's such an easy way because people are that's a standard information for I'm going to turn, and you just frick it. Anyway,
yeah,
I've learned absolutely to disregard anyone whose blinker has, because when I pull out of my community and there's people that turn right, sometimes they'll have their blinker on and just keep going, and I'm just if I would have pulled out, I would have been screwed. So now I disregard that every time. I don't trust anybody.
Yeah. Until I see them start turning, I don't go
completely every time. Yeah, I was taught that when I learned to drive, and I've seen it happen several times. So trust no bitch. It's just
it was
until there's no way.
Error. Yeah, you got to do that defensive driving. Assume that you're gonna be some idiots.
Assume that everyone is on the road trying to kill you, and you'll be much better off. You'll be stressed out, but you'll be all right.
Or you'll be right 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, speaking of road demons, we're gonna talk about Demon Slayer, baby. Let's do it.
I want to make a joke about 50% of the time, and the chick that flips a coin every time she has to make a decision.
That would have been layered.
That's a deep and subtle plot point, though. Well, it's actually at the very end.
Dang.
Yeah, it's the end.
Can't wait to see more of her in season 2.
Spoilers! If you haven't watched Demon Slayer, don't listen to this yet. Go watch the show. Do yourself a favor.
Dope show, for real.
With that out of the way, we're gonna spoil the shit out of it.
This is the last thing we're talking about. So if you want to hear us, say goodbye and then hear the dope outro music play, then skip to maybe about a minute left in the episode or something like that. But other than that, this is the last thing we're talking about. So if you haven't watched it yet, thank you for listening. We'll see you.
Goodbye, my sweet people. Yes.
Before we get into Demon Slayer, we do want to announce which album and anime that we're going to cover next after Demon Slayer. Obvious, because we're doing it before Demon Slayer. I am a nitwit. But I think we settled on Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold. Their 2010 album. I think it's their 5th album.
Yeah.
So we're gonna delve into some hard rock, and for anime, we're going to cover The Promised Neverland.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, season 1 should be pretty short for that one, and we'll get back to it.
Yeah, switching genres.
Season 1 is 12 episodes, and you guys mentioned that season 2 will start late January, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, if you guys want to listen and watch along with us, that's
much definitely recommended.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I actually know this is one of the few anime that I've heard about being popular that I actually don't know a single plot point or character or
really?
what it's about.
You haven't seen it?
I've purposefully avoided literally every bit of information I could have possibly read about it because you guys were talking about
it.
So yeah,
because it's cool. It's a cool show.
And I've heard some Avenged, so I think I know what to expect. That. And that's
I'm sure everybody has heard some Avenged.
That's an album.
They're one of the biggest rock bands ever.
Yeah, of course. And that's one of Trevor and David's albums that they rate as a 10, a perfect 10 out of 10. So that'll be a really interesting review from you guys talking about that.
That is my favorite band of all time. No cap at all. No one will ever take that away from them. They were my first concert, actually.
Wow, yeah. I agree, unless you consider like rap groups bands, but if we're talking outside of that, I mean, even still, I don't know, they're up there. Yeah, they're still my favorite. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
All right.
So
let's get into some Demon Slayer, baby.
Let's do it, bro.
So, how do we want to do this? We want to do this like I kind of want to do it how we did Mob Psycho, where we just like rattled off shit that we liked about it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I thought that was
do it. Fire it up.
Fire it up, baby. Well, Tanjiro is a dope dealer, my G. Tanjiro is such a fucking great protagonist, man.
Dang, yeah.
It's like
he is.
It's like
he's
maybe
real.
Him.
He's about it.
And Deku are tied for me. I think.
You kind of cut out.
So I'll start over. I think he and Deku are tied for like my favorite shonen protagonists.
Don't spoil my hero, but...
Wow.
Okay.
Favorite protagonists. Wow.
Tags.
Yeah, I have absolutely no intention of spoiling My Hero. You're definitely going to be able to enjoy the fuck out of that on your own without me ruining it for you. I would never. So yeah.
Nice.
I'll tell you what.
So yeah,
this man Tanjiro, he's really about it though. That's what I like.
Dude, yeah.
Like he has the qualities of a protagonist.
For
he's
sure.
like happy. He's like happy and all this, but he's really about his shit.
Person alive, bro.
Yeah, but he's really about his shit. So that's what I like.
Super determined to be the best that he can be, and I like this anime or this shonen because it kind of does a little bit differently than what other shows do, in that he wasn't just given powers and like overpowered at the start. Like he wasn't the chosen one, and that's like it's more entertaining to me to see him, like bulk up quite literally and train like throughout the show. He wasn't just given God-given powers. Like
yeah. I didn't even think about that. I guess I do generally really prefer that. I mean, it's a trope to give them the powers and then you got to train them up, but just being like a guy and then you're like, I have this goal and I'm gonna freaking go hard is
he was normal as hell. He was just like a delivery boy for charcoal.
Yeah.
And he's the jack of all trades for the little town at the foot of the mountain that he lives on, where he does the he does. They all make charcoal, and they or coal or charcoal. I don't know which it actually is, but and he hauls it down the mountain, and he talks to everyone, and has the sense of smell thing. How'd you guys feel about that?
I thought it was cool.
It's cool, right? Yeah.
I thought it was cool. It's the way they the way they integrated it in the fights, like him being able to smell like threads and openings that he can attack
the opening thread
his enemies with. Cool.
Yeah, the way they describe combat like through a sense of smell is very interesting, and then it also seems to be like a sort of canon of the world is that like people do have like incredibly good people actually do, like it's a common enough thing that people don't think it's super weird that he can smell a vase and tell it was broken by a cat, like, and they trust him outright. Is like because Zenitsu has the super good ears as well. And like all that stuff. So
Yusuke does that too. Like he can sense like where anything is, like within like a 5-mile radius or something.
Self-taught beast breathing.
Yeah, I will have to say, like when I was going into it, I knew nothing about Demon Slayer other than like I had friends previously tell me that this is a good show and you need to watch it. So I didn't know anything. The first episode really like hit me hard. Like he's just a normal dude walking up and down the mountain, then he just his whole family just gets annihilated, and it's just like this guy real dark real quick.
Just vicious gore, like outrageously realistic amounts of blood for like an entire family being slaughtered. Like some shows would like tone that down of being like, oh, like he just got cut or whatever.
Like he's just laying down with a little bit of blood.
It's a fucking crime scene. It is like egregiously gory. and he's like fuck, everyone's dead. Nezuko still has a pulse. I gotta run Nezuko, and then he's like, they prove to you why he's such a good protagonist is they prove to you like that he's not the chosen one, but he is inherently talented and smart and hardworking and kind, and like just has like all these qualities where he's like, he fights what's his name, Giyu, Tomioka, and so he tricks him and he throws the axe, and then Giyu's like, damn,
that was a cool
this kid could be it. And so then it fucking starts off, and the training montage is fucking sick. I'll let you guys pipe back up.
No, yeah.
I just wanted to say that I love the gore. Like I thought it was artfully done.
The way it's like Game of Thrones, where what makes that so good is like they're not gonna hold back. Like any bullshit could happen. Like it's not gonna be like all this like clear cut, fine and dandy stuff. Like this could get fucking very messy very fast, and it does. So it's very cool.
But it wasn't like disgusting.
Exactly.
Like, that's my problem with a lot of gore. Is
it was purposeful.
It's gore porn for no reason. But this show, apart from the one part where the lower 5 guy with the heads like pulls off the face of that woman that he like makes become like his sister.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know that part. Like they show his backstory and he recruits the woman to be his sister, and then he like
the spider kid.
That's when Tanjiro is like, he walks up to him and he's like, this isn't a show. That's the woman I'm talking about. But like to make her a demon, he like pulls her face off, like quite literally, and that was disgusting. But everything else was fine.
Yeah, it's the opposite end of the spectrum of what we railed against the Death Note movie doing of like the guy just gets decapitated, and it's like that's literally just gore porn for the sake of it, and it's just like, please fuck off. And it was it's the complete opposite end of the spectrum for that. So yeah, it was well done.
I'm gonna need you guys to redefine what shonen means because I guess I don't understand, because to me in my mind, like when someone says shonen, I think of like it's like a little kid's anime and like it's simple. But then like because when I was watching it, I had a friend. I'm like, yeah, I'm watching Demon Slayer. He says that's a pretty good shonen. I'm like, shonen? This crap is super dark.
It's like,
but I guess
it's targeted at like 12 to 17-year-olds, and you should think like shows like Naruto, My Hero, Bleach.
It has part to do with who it's targeted at, but it's largely who the protagonist is. So it's usually a young male protagonist like coming into his power and like getting in fights and stuff like that. So it's like Naruto, DBZ, Demon Slayer, My Hero. I can't list others off the top of my head, but
Death Note could be considered a shonen. I think
you could maybe consider Mob Psycho a shonen, but
no, Mob Psycho is absolutely a shonen.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there you go.
Did you consider Attack on Titan a shonen?
It's usually yeah, because it follows Eren. Well, I don't know. Attack on Titan is more about the world than it is the protagonist. At times, a lot of times. So it's usually like that. It has a lot to do with the focus on the central protagonist of his like journey and growth and all that stuff.
And it's always a male powers
of some kind. Yeah.
Of some.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it shows.
The genre lines do get blurry though for me, because I think
they overlap
differently.
They don't even just blur; they fully overlap. Yeah, so
for sure. Yeah, I always think about that. Like, what is, because a seinen is like a darker, like grittier, aimed at like older, but like still generally male audiences or whatever.
Yeah,
they get pretty specific if you like really, really try, but
it's not to say that you have to be that age to enjoy them, because obviously we all enjoy. The younger 14-year-old fucking absolute killer.
But I mean, but on that note, like, for sure.
Speaking of Tower of God,
no,
y'all wanna talk about a simp? Homie from episode 8, the dude that follows the doctor chick around. No, the kid that is like has the diary of how beautiful the doctor is.
He's a simp.
That's
a simp, but it wasn't annoying. It was I loved seeing their interactions.
I mean, it was funny because he wasn't the main character or whatever, so it was fine. But it was like Jesus fucking Christ. I was like, they were like roasting the fuck out of Bomb.
Zenitsu's the simp too, if you want to go there.
Hold up.
Zenitsu definitely is. Yeah.
Now that we're on the topic, for me, Zenitsu is quite possibly a contender for the worst character I've ever seen in any anime.
Yeah,
he is so annoying, and he's trash.
Before you throw him in the bin, I enjoy when he goes complete Super Saiyan and he just bows his head and holds the sword and like just has the one fucking ability that he does, the
steam comes out of his teeth. He's like. And he's in his position, and when he's fighting the spider that's like up in the treehouse is the best one. I mean, you have the first one obviously where like you haven't seen him do anything at all yet, like you think he's probably fully useless, and then like he passes out, and as the demon's about to kill the kid, you see like the flash and the tongue gets cut, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's like literally the anime meme of like he moves his sword so fast you don't see it happen. And he like gets up. He gets up and he's completely passed out, like unconscious, just like in Super Saiyan mode, like Trevor said. And he just like says his line. He's like super, I fucked it up.
He turns light blue for sure, dude. Oh, sorry.
I don't know what I'm fucking. Oh my god! Wow! I just got that. I just got that.
Cyan.
I actually whipped for a little bit. Jesus fucking Christ.
That was good.
Yeah, he goes Super Saiyan.
He's going Super Saiyan 4.
Nah,
he speaks his line. So yeah, I think that's just like every dialogue scene that Zenitsu has is awful, and then every combat scene he has is fucking insanely good. They're my favorite scenes in the show, basically. Some of my favorite scenes in the show.
That power is he's such a little bitch the whole time though. He literally won't do anything until he literally has to cry himself to unconsciousness for him to actually do anything.
Yeah, until he passes out from fear. Yeah.
I agree.
Like the demon, he sees the demon, he's shaking. Oh, he's got a sword. Oh,
yeah.
He won't do nothing.
When he's like that is hilarious, but like hearing the high screaming for like 30-40 seconds a piece, it's like.
And then on top of that, you literally come to find out that he's a simp.
I mean, of course, it's not come to find out. That's when we meet him or when he joins with Tanjiro. I mean, we meet him like at the final selection or whatever. But then when he comes across Zenitsu like in the street, he's like clutching at the dress of this girl who's like, he's like, you're gonna marry me, right? Like, please marry me before I die. And she's like, bitch, I'm engaged, fuck off. And so he's like groveling on the fucking ground after Tanjiro takes control of the situation, and they like Zenitsu's bitching to him, and that's like the best part of Zenitsu's character is Tanjiro's reaction. His like concerned face when he's like looking down at Zenitsu groveling is probably like one of the best faces I have ever seen, and it's so memeable. That's so fucking perfect. Where he's just like looking down at him, and he's like, it's like a combination of pity and disgust, and like, it's so fucking good.
He's like, but it's annoying when he realizes that Nezuko is with him. He's like, you mean to tell me you were traveling with a girl?
You can make out with it. He like wants to kill him because of that.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was a little funny.
Like, at the end when they were like rehabilitating or something,
that part
you were hanging out with girls and you were complaining.
Yeah. I think that part is actually kind of genuinely funny when he actually shows some strength for once, and it's just because he's like such a simp or whatever. Yeah, because he wants to see girls so bad. He's like, they get to touch you, and you didn't tell me, you motherfuckers.
He's just too consistently like annoying who he is for me. Like,
yeah.
I do love the combat scenes there. Like we can definitely talk about the animation and art in the show is beautiful. Like, like it's done by a UFO table. It's like a work of art, and the different elements and the breathing techniques and.
Dude, his water breathing technique, just like the way he does his little cartwheels and shit,
fucking gorgeous.
Fire, the way he does that fire breathing technique, and he slices that dude's head, bruh.
Yeah, I mean that was.
Will never be severed, and he just like fucking rapes that guy's head off, bruh.
Yeah, that's maybe the best animated scene I've ever seen is the like the exploding blood, and he's like in the fire cage, and he just like cuts through, and it's going like 60 FPS, and he's fucking like just popping off, and it shows it from like 3 different angles when he like stabs the broken blade into his neck, and the fire comes out the other side, and it's oh man, holy fucking
dude,
shit.
I bursted out laughing when they were fighting the chick that had the volleyballs that kept like killing and shit.
Yeah.
And like there was like a part in the beginning of that fight where the simp from Miss Tamayo and like the homegirl throws the volleyball, and it like it's completely independent of gravity, so it can go wherever it pleases.
Yeah, it's the other guy's ability. It's the other guy's ability that he uses the arrows to control him.
So like it turns like a complete 180 and uppercuts this guy's head right off. But they're human, so he doesn't die. It takes a little bit for him to regenerate. And oh my god, that shit was so funny, dude. It just comes like out of nowhere, it just claps his head.
Yeah, man. Off. And it like it shifts to like a black and white to like create a stark contrast when he just gets smoked. Yeah. And that was a crazy piece of gore too, when his head is growing back and like only his like bottom row of teeth and tongue have formed, and he's like speaking like full sentences to the doctor woman, and it was like man, like like, like I don't know. So that was
go ahead. I was gonna say like, oh, what, you have something?
No, go ahead.
No. I was telling you go ahead.
Oh, like no, my bad. It's like that the gore stuff and the darker tone and like the heavy like Japanese cultural stuff and like the history. It just reminds me of like older shonen animes more in a way, which I really liked. Like I feel like even like early
like Full Metal.
Yeah, like like they strike like slightly darker, more like edgy tones, if you want to say, like, and it's just, I do like that. And like even if you go to like the 90s and 80s anime, there's a lot of like crazy like gore stuff and stuff that like you wouldn't see on American TV, especially not aimed at kids. So I like that it's like the modern animation and stuff and up to today's standards, but it reminded me of that stuff and it was super cool.
Yeah, it felt like a super traditional fighting anime.
Yeah. It definitely, now that you say that, reminds me very directly of Full Metal and its balance of like dark, serious tones and like very serious battles, but also like simply drawn animation, like cartoonish stuff and like slapstick jokes and funny moments and stuff like that, where it has a balance of all those things. And the characters are super relatable and good, and you want them to succeed. So yeah. No, I mean, Tanjiro is so gorgeously written, dude. My God.
Mm-hmm. This is my first show that I've had to watch in sub.
Japanese. How was that? How'd you feel?
I love the sub. I think it was great.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Dude.
It took me a second to realize, or it took me a second to get adjusted to like reading, but like most of the time when they're fighting, they don't have that much dialogue that you need to like pay attention to.
Yeah, they just rename their moves and stuff.
Yeah, and like my biggest concern was like, well, like I have two concerns with like watching sub, but one is like missing something that's happening on the screen. But most of the time when like heavy dialogue is happening, they're not moving that much, so you don't really have to stare at the characters. Yeah,
it's just one character's face with their mouth opening and closing. Yeah. So it's like, and then when they show like exquisite detail, they take a pause from dialogue, like when they're showing all the Hashira, the Demon Slayer pillars, and they have that intense like intro music, and they like show each one of them and what their thing is and their name. It was a super cool scene towards the end.
That was dope.
But yeah, no, sub is great because Japanese is such an intense language that when they're like when they're screaming at each other like during fights, it sounds so much more like intense and whatever. Like if you have like a shit English voice actor who just sounds like a child and he's like screaming during a fight, I just can't take him seriously. So it's like which I've never had happen, because I think largely because I mostly watch the sub, but you know. Yeah, but I love the expression and the tonalities, and you can tell when you listen to more and more of it when they're being like formal and informal, regardless of how they're translating it in the subtitles, and sort of more casual, suggestive stuff like that. So I'm glad you loved it. That's dope.
Yeah, it was definitely a different experience, but I didn't feel like it required too much brain power.
Hampered it at all, yeah. Cool, awesome.
I still think I'll like default to dubs just for like catching taglines.
Yeah.
Like the Believe It's and like the Reagan special moves kind of shit. But I definitely enjoyed the sub a lot, and I would never watch that show in dub.
There you go. See, that's me too. Like I default to dub, but there's certain shows that are just better for sub, I think. Yeah.
And especially the newer shows, it's gonna be harder to find dubs for them anyway. So might as well learn how to do it now.
Yeah, true.
What do you guys think about the villain? The main villain.
Michael Jackson? Yeah, bro. That's been memed to death.
Yeah.
That last episode was heavy. I was wanting, because they slow down, after he gets caught by the Demon Slayers, the Hashiras or whatever they're called.
Yeah. It shifts back into like a training arc part 2.
Yeah, it's like 3 episodes of like rehabilitation and stuff, and it's kind of slow, but it's comical.
It's set up for the movie as well.
Yeah, of course. But I was hoping for a bombastic finish.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like a big epic battle like I thought it was gonna be, but it was really nice setup. And I cried. I cried at the end because I wanted to. I don't watch the intros. I usually just skip them. So I wanted to watch the intro for the last episode because I wanted to hear the song one more time before I ended it. And the last episode doesn't play the fucking song. It just goes into the show, and I'm like, "Fuck! I missed my chance." And then it plays it at the end when they're on the train, and I teared up. I got chills.
Fuck
it was
baby!
Wow,
there you
perfect.
go.
Goddamn right. Elite
Fucking
execution. That happens a lot of the time. They don't. One of the best executions of that actually is Konosuba, I think, when they come to the massive conclusion of whatever battle they're in, and the theme starts blasting in the background, and like shit's about to pop off, and the animation gets absurdly detailed and good, and you're like, wow, they put a lot of fucking time into this, and it's just banging, and I love this shit. Yeah, it's
especially if you have like an emotional connection like I do with the fucking intro song. 'Cause this is my favorite intro song I've ever heard in my life.
So just to hear, I'm so happy.
Just to hear it that impacting, it was so good. Dope.
Yeah, man. Every time I don't hear it for a while, I'll put like my actual headset on that I have like right now that has dope bass and everything in it, and I'll just crank it to fucking 25 and just jump around my room and shit, and the guitar pops off and like everything's popping off and.
I was saying earlier, it's 2 fucking notes. That riff is so fucking simple, but it's awesome.
The intro video itself, at least for the first half, is pretty mediocre. The back half is pretty dope, in my opinion. Unlike Mob Psycho 100 Season 2, which we talked about. David and I talked about that being like top 3 intros ever in terms of the music and the animation, I believe. But the song itself is definitely like top 3 OPs for me, for sure.
Yeah,
who's your guys' favorite character?
Tanjiro.
Oh, definitely Inosuke.
Yeah.
Inosuke is one of my favorite voice acting performances, literally.
Inosuke?
Yeah,
I like Nezuko.
Nezuko, you fucking stole it, bitch. I adore Nezuko.
She's so precious. She's so precious. Like you have to protect her at all costs.
Dude, it makes her so much better when she has the bamboo.
The muzzle.
The muzzle. Yeah. Yeah, she just got the cute ass eyes, and when she gets the the demon eyes, they go like cat eyes or lizard eyes or whatever it is, the slit, and she just like kicks dicks. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. That was her move. It's just kicking.
Yeah. She was very. It's some of the best fucking martial arts animation I've seen in my entire life, for sure. I mean, Hunter. Why people adore Hunter x Hunter is because the fighting animation in that. I mean, well, on a laundry list of reasons of why people adore Hunter x Hunter, which David can attest to, is that the fighting animation is insane. And when they, I mean, I won't spoil, but
Shadow vs.
How you call it, Hunter X Hunter.
Right now.
She is. Yes.
On season 2, yes.
Gotta get more people on the Hunter x Hunter train.
I want to watch it. It's just long, so
I kept saying Hunter x Hunter over and over again, and I kept getting roasted for it, so I finally switched.
I literally said Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, it's the wrong way. Yeah, I said that. Way.
It's supposed to be. Hunter
I said that till I finished the show the first time, and then I found out it was. I was like,
it's like very like any like hardcore fan of Hunter x Hunter will like tell you that you're very wrong for calling
I'll
it
die
Hunter
for
x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter.
I'm completely fine if you want to say Hunter x Hunter. I'm not gonna hold it against you.
I don't give a shit. It's just like it's randomly like a huge thing for some reason. So
it should be like a Rihanna thing. Like you just move on. It's like a fun fact.
Yeah, exactly.
To get into some
Super Saiyan
of like where I want to see it in the future.
No, I'm not letting you get away with that one. That was a little no, you ain't getting no free pass for that one.
that was a slip of the tongue. I'm not literally retarded.
Become a Super Saiyan.
This is the stage after Saiyan. Fuck, I actually said it right when I was trying to meme. God damn it. Whatever.
You got ratioed.
I got freaking ratioed, bro. But yeah, no, easily some of the best martial arts animation I've ever seen in a show in terms of the hand-to-hand and the sword combat. It's fucking insanely cool to watch, especially when all the effects come out with the water and the fire. Yeah. It's so fucking cool.
I think to kind of get into some like where I want to see it kind of go next, I guess what I want to see get explained is like the fact he finds the villain when he finds him in like the city and he's like kind of blending in.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, because he obviously recognizes his scent. I want to know why that villain was just in the like. What is he doing in like a random family in the mountains, like to slaughter them? Like, like where? Like I want to know that whole story. Like, how did he get there?
True. Yeah, that I thought of that as well, of the idea that he's like apparently living in a city, but he also just decided to climb a random mountain and slaughter a family. Because it's like it's definitely him. It's not some other demon. It's literally like Kibutsushi Muzan went to Tanjiro's house and killed his family and turned Nezuko into a demon. Like that is canon of the show. And exactly your question is like, why? Like that seems so fucking out of the way. Like a random demon roaming the forest makes sense. Like I get that, but it does seem super weird. And I think the answer to that is that he has history with his family. Because he has flashbacks from when he first became a demon or something like that in certain episodes. And so that's why he's so obsessed with the demon slayer with the Hanafuda-like earrings, because I think they get passed down through Tanjiro's family. And so someone in Tanjiro's lineage at one point was a demon slayer and like either caught or almost killed or fought with Kibutsushi Muzan. They show him cowering on the street in a flashback in a silhouette of someone who looks exactly like Tanjiro's dad, like with the hairstyle and everything, and the same green and black checkered jacket. And or it might not be that jacket. I don't remember. Fuck. But anyway, it looks exactly like his dad from the few scenes that they show his dad in. So it's either literally his dad. The most insane theory I have about this show is that his dad is a demon. Is that his dad was a demon. And that he is like Kibutsushi Muzan's fucking eternal enemy. And that he was like the first demon slayer. Or something
they were
like
brothers.
That. Like they were like they had some relation, and Muzan becomes a demon, and fucking so does Tanjiro's ancestor or his dad. And then like wouldn't that be insane if Tanjiro's like dad was like the second demon or something like that? And decided like this needs to end, and so they go separate ways. And Tanjiro's dad forms the Demon Slayer Corps, and
kind of went into his dad being like the whole fire breathing technique.
Yeah, and they talk about that being like passed down through the generations. And Tanjiro looks very similar to his dad too. So it could definitely. I think the very very way more likely thing is that he's it's like an ancestry thing, not literally his dad. But it could be. It's a crazy thing.
It'd be super interesting,
yeah.
But
it's they have some relation. He had some motivation to go and fuck up Tanjiro's family on purpose because he has some history with a demon slayer who had Hanafuda-like earrings like a couple hundred years ago or whatever, however long they say he lived.
Yeah.
And my same answer to why would you just like be chilling in Tokyo or wherever they like early Tokyo or whatever city they were in. When he's like hilariously like country boy goes to the city and he's like super overwhelmed by how tall the buildings are and that there are stagecoaches or whatever or cars even. So yeah, that was funny. And he comes across Kibutsuji there, and it's like, you know what you do when you're an evil maniac that has lived for several hundred years? you're an evil maniac sociopath, so you go start a fake family just to fuck with people. Like,
yeah.
You just get bored, and so you start a fake family. He probably has a few of them, I bet. I don't know. So that's how I would explain both those things.
What were you saying, David?
Well, it's. I mean, it says a lot. I mean, there's a lot of interesting history left that they can explore, and I even like the last few episodes when they have the other demon slayers. I always love in a shonen when they introduce like these are the big boys, and it's always like
they're pieces of shit to him too.
Yeah. Well, definitely some of them are way worse, but they're all like okay.
Doo-doo cries.
They all very, very distinct personality types. Like they're literally the end of the spectrum for their personality type. Every single one of them. The guy that talks about, the one girl who talks about how much she loves everything.
That chick needs to die.
The one that we're gonna see in the movie is the fire guy, and he's he's the one who wants everything done flamboyantly.
No, that's a different guy.
Is that a different guy?
Yeah, that's different.
That's a different guy.
Oh. Yeah. What's the fire guy's bit then? He's just always like cheesing, right?
He's just noble.
He seems like the strong silent type or something.
Yeah.
I really like all their character designs and all that. Like I'm hyped to see that.
One of my absolute favorite parts was when he's tied up. He's sitting there tied up. They have like Nezuko. And he just straight up headbutts the dude.
Yeah.
And when he's like,
funny.
That scene is nuts because he's like, the Hashira is telling him like, dude, like you're fucked up. If you do total concentration breathing right now, your lungs are going to explode. I can guarantee you that. And he does it and breaks out of the ropes. And it's like, and they're all like, wait, this kid is maybe fucking ridiculous. Like this kid could be like top tier very quickly. Like he just headbutted a Hashira while tied up and then broke out of the fucking bonds to like defend his sister. It's like, man, holy shit.
For real. I mean, we should talk about that because they're setting up for the movie, which has been like the biggest opening weekend of a movie in Japan or something.
Yes, it was the largest opening weekend. It may have moved up from number 10, but it definitely, when I looked at it a little while ago, is number 10 top grossing ever in Japan.
Like 10 billion yen, right?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know the figure, but we can look it up. We should look it up actually to cover this properly.
Yeah, that's super dope and exciting and
I can't wait for that shit to come in U.S. theaters. We're gonna be lit.
Dude,
gonna get some popcorn.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so
the fact that it's a movie.
Good, man.
And it's 2 hours long.
Yeah, and so and normally with anime, like movie and or animation in movies is like a lot better because it's like they focus it on 2 hours and it's this big budget thing. So
big budget, yep.
Demon Slayer already being so beautiful, it's like I'm going to cry
nut in my mouth.
Yeah, man. So it is currently still number 10 with almost 16 billion yen generated.
Yeah, dang.
Which the highest one is Spirited Away with 30.1 billion. Or 30.8 billion yen. And then you want to know what's actually right above Demon Slayer, funny enough, right now?
My Hero. I don't know.
Well, it's movies, so Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
What?
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is the 9th highest grossing film of all time in Japan.
And then the ones in there too.
The number 5 is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh my god!
Just random.
Number 3, Disney's Frozen.
Oh my god, man!
Two is Titanic and 1 is Spirited Away.
2 is
the
Titanic.
Big ones. That's funny. Dang.
But yeah, I
think Gone with the Wind isn't up there. Jesus.
Gone with the Wind.
Fucking Christ.
That's an.
Gone with the
When
yen.
was that movie made?
Yeah,
it wouldn't be only because of how old it is.
1930s
or 40s, who knows?
Yeah, it's just a cheat code.
Yeah. So
that list is actually very interesting. It's very interesting to see how certain
1939.
genres of of entertainment land in different cultures.
Yeah, because
I mean, the Gone with the Wind anime was pretty dope.
It was super hype.
Honestly,
yes.
That's probably Cowboy Bebop. They just waited like 4 decades to do it.
I will bring physical harm upon your person. What was that noise? Did you guys hear that?
I don't know, but it sounded like David squeaking.
Nah, what the?
That's not fucking awful.
I hope it came through the recording because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna mute it because it sounded insanely loud to me.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Whatever. I'll cut all this up.
I think I said all I wanted about Demon Slayer. It's a great show. If you're still listening, watch it. Again, this is another recommendation.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Everything looks like a work of art. Cameron, you were saying it was like one of your favorites, right?
Yeah.
Where
do you guys land it?
Oh man, there's so many good anime I want to put at top 3, but it's really hard.
I give this one a solid 9.
It's a 10.
Wow,
it's 100%.
I give it a solid 9.
Wow. I fucking love this show. When we were doing it, I rewatched it immediately and then was very disappointed that we didn't get to talk about it that week, and I almost rewatched it again.
Oh my God.
So you said
watched it again.
You said a 9, Alex?
Yeah, 9.
Dang,
I haven't seen a perfect anime yet.
I just think basically everything they do. Yeah, I mean, so I'm not giving it like, because there is that philosophy of giving ratings, right? Which we talked about before. Is like you don't give a 10 unless it's literally perfection. But like what I'm doing is when given the choice between giving it a 9 and a 10 with no decimals in between on my anime list, because they only have solid number ratings, I give it a 10. So that's what
my app has integer or decimal places. So
weird.
Which one you're using, but
I mean, I use the browser, so whatever.
Yeah, I'll say I have a different rating philosophy too. So yeah, like a 10 isn't necessarily perfect, but it's like, it's just different. But I'd give it an 8 for me, and that's really great. But it's not as good as Mob Psycho to me. It's not as good as.
That's where I was trying to compare it, and I was like, do I like this more than Mob Psycho? I don't think I like the characters more, but yeah, I think I like. God, that's tough, man.
Yeah,
because Mob Psycho's the shit.
I know.
I think Mob Psycho is up with Naruto in terms of like absolute lovable characters, like from front to back. I don't think any show will ever top Naruto,
David,
in terms of that. But
isn't it amazing that we have the knowledge of how much Trevor is going to love My Hero, Fullmetal, and fucking what was the last one? Shit.
We have the knowledge.
Hunter.
Hunter, that's what I was thinking of.
Puts a smile on my face. Puts a smile on my face thinking about you experiencing those for the first time.
I didn't like Sexy Back, so I might not like Brotherhood.
That's tough.
Oh my!
I didn't like the
what the fuck was that joke?
Brotherhood. Yeah.
What do you
the mother animes don't know how to act.
All right, we've been the Unboxing Life podcast. Thank you very much for listening. No, but for real.
For real.
No, definitely one of my favorite shows. It's easily top 10. I think it's easily top 5 for me, honestly.
Yeah, I think it'll be top 10 for me when I watch more.
Yeah, and then I mean, if you rate it as a series as opposed to just one season, if you include this movie that's coming up, which I haven't even looked at reviews for, but I mean, based on how it's grossing and everything,
don't you're gonna get spoiled.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to see the movie. I can't say nothing on the movie.
I expect the movie to move this to like a very solid, easy top 3 as a series. Honestly,
okay.
Because now they have. That's the thing is like now like it was already so fucking insane, their abilities and like all the cool shit they were doing, and now they're literally like 1,000 times stronger now that they can do total concentration breathing 100% of the time. Like he went from basically like a kindergartner to a doctorate in total concentration breathing is basically how they set it up. So like the fact that all 3 of them are now like ridiculously badass, and now that Zenitsu has done some fucking proper training with the boys, he might not be such a little bitch the entire time.
No,
which I'm hoping for.
Don't count on that. Don't hold your breath.
I'm definitely not counting on it. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just releasing the thought into the world in case it finds its way.
Happening.
That's probably not. I mean, they seem very, very committed to his cringe personality, but Inosuke is going to be fucking sick as well. So.
Yeah, I love him. I love how much Cameron loves this show. Also, I'm
so passionate, dude. Yeah, and
I definitely want to see this movie.
I mean, the fire animation was the coolest animation in the entire show, and this movie is going to be centered around the fire Hashira. So it's just going to be fucking nuts. I'm so fucking excited, man. Yeah. If I had the money, I'd fly to Japan and see it in theaters, but there'd be no subtitles, so I'd be fucked. But I'd probably just do that. Like if I'm a billionaire, I just fly, watch it without subtitles, and then like watch it with subtitles later.
You go for $500, bro.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier today. It's round trip, $536, something like that.
Dang. That's good.
I wouldn't even have to pay for a hotel. I just bring a backpack, change of clothes, just go straight to the movie theater.
Sleep in the theater.
The hotels are not inexpensive. You sleep in a pod hotel?
I'd be. That's true too. I have seen those. Those are cool.
They're very small, but
they're actually they're not terrible. But yeah.
Have you been in one?
Well, okay. Well, they don't seem terrible.
Have you?
I've been in similar things. I've not been to a pod hotel, but I've been in a like room that size, for like a certain amount of time when I was doing like escape rooms and stuff like that. And it's not terribly cramped. Like you have enough space to move around. And I've seen the videos like reviewing them. So
yeah, I get claustrophobic, but
I get a little claustrophobic, but it's
thankfully
not too bad.
I'm not claustrophobic, so
yeah, I can.
Nice.
It's largely if it's dark. If it's dark, I get fucked up by small spaces. But
as long as I can fit in it, I don't care how small it is.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's true.
I'll say, I mean, technically, I'm not using claustrophobic, right? Because like people with real claustrophobia like feel like they can't breathe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I generally don't like super small spaces.
That's fine.
I mean, you can use the like super hard concrete definition of phobia in that it's like supposed to be an irrational fear of like not within the natural human conditioning.
I guess we won't know until we actually try it. Until we take our unboxing life goes to Japan trip.
God,
that would be
bro,
silly.
You said it here first. Mark the time? 4:18 on Friday, November 6th. Alex has predicted the unboxing life trip to Japan. We will see when it comes true.
I'd be super down, brothers.
That'd be fucking insane. Oh my lord.
Eat ramen and dumplings and look at anime figures for 2 weeks.
So what's the mochi?
I'm going to be doing a lot more than just eating ramen and dumplings and looking at anime figures in Japan. I got a lot on the list. A lot of places.
Ominous.
I would. I mean, there's so many fucking cool places.
Yeah,
all
the
over
Pokemon
Japan,
Center is on my list for sure. So is fucking go-karting in the streets of Japan. That looks insane as well.
You can I'll put on the donkey tie.
Yeah, I'll have to do some Yoshi shit.
I want to go. I watched
Mario Kart up in this bitch.
I watched a show called Yuru Camp. It's called Laid Back Camp, which is just about a high school camping club, and it's just like the most wholesome, like relaxing thing ever. And they go camping in the winter underneath Mount Fuji, and it's just literally art. Like it's the animation is literally so gorgeous in that show. So it's the way they draw Fuji and the sunrise and sunsets and stuff like that. So that's something I want to see, because apparently if you catch it at the right time, it looks like Fuji is completely pink because of the snow at the top and the way the sunset looks. So it's cool.
Definitely want to go to Hanamura and see just how cramped Capture Point B is.
Stop it. That was an Overwatch
We'll never be able to take the second point, but we'll try.
We will never take it. Yeah, we'll walk and we'll shoot some ultimates in there, but we won't take the point.
Jesus Christ, man. Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for listening. We have been the Unboxing Life podcast. You can find us on social media at Unboxing Life Pod. We have a very active Instagram. You can see certain intro clips and episode clips on there. And every time we upload a new episode, we will update on Twitter. So please follow us on either or both platforms, and we will see you when we see you. Thank you very much. So Alex, how about you take us out?
We're here. We made it. We love you. I love you all.
It's been real. Thanks, guys.
Adios.
Peace out, baby.